Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a fun one because we are going to be playing with the new Colourpop. What is this even called? The Palm Springs collection? Something like that. It is their collection for summer. It is full of blues and oranges. Very summery, very contrasting colors, very fun. And it comes with a newer lip formula that I'm wearing today. I tested it out for the first time. I am so excited about this collection because it's the first time that I've received Colourpop PR in a really long time. So honestly, opening this up was like Christmas. I was so excited. So yeah, let's just go over the collection really quickly. It comes with an eyeshadow palette. This is the In the Springs pressed powder palette. There are 4 out of the 12 shades that are not suitable for use on the immediate eye area. I'll tell you right away. This is what the palette looks like. It's very beautiful. If you do have an issue with them not being suitable for use on the eye area, I would steer clear of this one because that's like 1/3 of the palette. However, it is just the pigments that are not approved by the FDA. I'm pretty sure they're approved in other parts of the world. It's just the FDA is super behind in approving those. Buy at your own risk. I will let you know that right away. It comes with 4 cream gel liners. Very beautiful colors. I will swatch them. Not right now, after I show the rest of the products. It comes with 3 Supershock highlighters. This is the one I'm wearing today. It's called Flip Flop. Then they have the deepest shade called Natch, and it's just like a bronzy tone. And then I think this one's a rose gold. Yeah, this one is called Windmill, and it's like a deep, almost copper. It's really pretty. And then there are 4 lip products. These are the glowing lips. And it comes in 4 shades. Again, I will swatch everything. So yeah, that is the collection overview. Now let's get into the swatches. I will go ahead and swatch the eyeshadow palette first. So first off, I wanted to swatch the In the Springs palette. This palette retails for $24.09 Canadian, which honestly, that's not even like affordable pricing anymore. That's insane. This product is also cruelty-free and it is vegan. The first shade we have is called Prick Me, and Colourpop describes this as a soft gold with silver pinpoints. This one is more of a Supershock texture. Next up we have the shade Soaked, and Colourpop describes this one as a matte soft baby blue. I feel like these first 2 shades together would be so pretty in like a light pastel eye look. I might have to do that next. Next up we have the shade Neon Kiss, which is described as a matte vibrant tangerine. This shade is a little bit drier than a usual Colourpop matte, I think just because of the vibrancy, but overall it didn't go on patchy or anything, so that's really nice. Also, this one shade is not approved for use on the immediate eye area. And last up in the first row, we have the shade Sizzlin', and Colourpop describes this as a matte soft tan. Next up, we have the shade Private Event, and this is described as a metallic coppery bronze. Then we have the shade Hot Tub, and Colourpop describes this as a metallic vibrant orange. I would say this shade doesn't apply as nicely. It is a little more difficult to work with. It's not a bad shade, it's just not as smooth as a lot of other Colourpop shades that I've tried. Then we have the shade Climb Time, and Colourpop describes this as a metallic bright aqua with a golden duochrome finish. I'll be honest, I don't really see any golden duochrome. Maybe a little bit, but like it's not super reflective. Next up we have the shade Intense, and Colourpop describes this one as a matte vibrant teal. Then we have the shade Get Aerial, Aerial? Yeah, I think so. And this is described as a matte vibrant red orange with gold pinpoints. It's more of a sequin formula. It is really pretty, I just don't love this formula. Next up we have the shade Palms Away, and Colourpop describes this as a matte warm saddle brown. It's nothing too special, we've seen it a lot, but I feel like it's kind of necessary in this palette because all the other colors are so vibrant. Then we have the shade Chino, and Colourpop describes this one as a matte deep chocolate. And also I feel like it is kind of a necessary color in this palette, just to ground everything. And lastly we have this navy blue. I feel like I should have used this in my eye look just because it was pretty dry and I kind of want to see how it performs on the eye. This is the shade Hole in One, and Colourpop describes it as a matte rich navy. This last shade is also not suitable for use on the immediate eye area. And yeah, that is the entire palette swatched out. Super beautiful. Okay, so next up to swatch we have the Supershock highlighters. I'll start off with the lightest shade called Flip Flop. This is the shade here, and Colourpop describes it as a soft golden champagne. It is cruelty-free and vegan. Next up is the shade Windmill, and Colourpop describes this as a soft warm copper. Obviously this will be a shade that will never work for me as a highlighter, but maybe as an eyeshadow it would be pretty. Or maybe I'll just find someone to give this to. This shade is also cruelty-free and vegan. And last up we have the deepest shade called Natch. Colourpop describes this as a soft bronze. This one is also cruelty-free and vegan. So those are all 3 shades, super beautiful. I just don't love the formula of these personally. Next up, we have 4 cream gel liners. And again, I will swatch these for you. These retail for $9.37 Canadian. And these Supershocks were like around $13. Everything is just so expensive. This first shade is like a bright orange. Colourpop describes it as a true orange. It's called Puppy. Such a beautiful eyeliner shade, especially for the summer. I feel like this on your upper lash line would be so much fun. This is cruelty-free and vegan. I'm not sure if this is actually approved for use on the eye area. It doesn't say anywhere that it's not. However, shades like this in eyeshadows are typically not approved for use on the immediate eye area, so I'd be curious to know. Next up, we have the shade Crystal Crush, and Colourpop describes this as a vivid metallic turquoise. Super pretty. Then we have the shade Overboard, and Colourpop describes this as a metallic deep bronze. It is a lot deeper. I thought it was going to be more of like a taupe shade. However, it is still really beautiful. And lastly, we have the shade Honeydude. This is one of my favorites from Colourpop. It has been around before. Colourpop describes this as a creamy warm nude. Super beautiful shade. Okay, and then we have 4 lippies. These are the newer formula from Colourpop. It's the Glowing Lip. The first shade is the one that I'm wearing, and I don't even know where it is. Hold on. Called Adults Only. I like how they swatch. This is the shade Adults Only. Colourpop describes it as a peachy nude. Then we have this bright orange shade. Wow, that's bright. And it is called Desert Aura. It doesn't even swatch that bright. Because these are more sheer, they're more wearable for sure. Colourpop describes this as a bright tangerine, and those are the 2 compared to each other. You can see the shade Adults Only is a lot more nude. I just don't know if I like how these are sitting on my lips. Next up, we have another nude shade. This is the shade Botanicals, and Colourpop describes it as a warm nude. This one's definitely a little bit more brown. That's the shade Botanicals, and that's the shade Adults Only. You can see that there's a lot more peach to this shade. And lastly, we have this really pretty deep shade called Mid-Century. Colourpop describes this shade as a red terracotta. These lip products retail for $10.71 Canadian, and I'm pretty sure you can buy these as a bundle. Yeah, for $37.48 Canadian. Also, all of these lip shades are cruelty-free and vegan. So now we can get on to a little look and demo. So if you want to see how I achieved this eye look and see all of the products in action, then just keep watching. Okay friends, so let's get started on a look. This is the In the Springs palette. I'm so excited to have something from Colourpop again. Oh my goodness, something new. It's been a while, I feel like. So this is what the palette looks like on the inside. It does have the bigger pans than their old 9 pans and 12 pans. They are larger in size, but I'm pretty sure there's actually less product in here. It's a little bit of a trick, I think. So what I think I want to do today is something orange and blue, obviously, but I think I want to do like an orange eye and then use this shade as like a funky liner. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I'll zoom you in a little bit more so you can see my eyeballs up close. Okay friends, let's get into it. I am going to actually prime with a different concealer today. Who am I? This one had amazing reviews on Sephora, like almost 5 stars with almost 300 reviews. So I needed to try it. I don't know. I'm gonna post a whole video on it. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. It's the new one, the relaunched version. No, she never had a faux filter. She had the Overachiever Concealer. So this is the faux filter one. I got the shade 2.1N. She has a really good shade range. It's very vast. I was tempted to get the lightest shade, but I'm really glad I didn't because it would have been way too light. Shade ranges are so extensive now. Like I used to be either the first or second shade every single time, but now I have to actually like go through and look at them all to see which shade I'd be. Anyway, such a first world problem. I'm just, you know, saying. Anyway, I used this for the first time yesterday, so I don't have like a well-rounded opinion. I just have a first impression. It has a very large doe foot. That did not sound good, that car. Ooh. Anyway, I'm just gonna prep my lids with this product, and I'm just going to blend it out using my Beauty Blender dupe, just like so. And I think I'm going to leave my base tacky so that I can get the real vibrancy of all of the shades. I'm really out of breath. I don't know what's going on. Well, I think I do know what's going on. I'm going off my medications right now, so I'm kind of like, it's almost like flu-like symptoms. I don't feel great. That's something that's very exciting that's happening in my life. I'm going off my meds. Crazy. I never thought I'd see the day. Well, I'm not really going off of them. Like, I'm just changing, I guess. Anyway, The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna dip into this shade here called Sizzlin'. I'm just gonna use this on a Morphe Y18. I know they don't have like this collection of brushes anymore, but it's just kind of like a MAC 217 type brush. I've been watching YouTube videos from like way back in the day, like 2010, 2009, back in the day. It's so nostalgic. I've actually been watching those videos for a reason. I'm doing like a little series on like older products and kind of nostalgic products, just because I haven't had like a ton of PR come in, as I've said. I'm just stamping this shade into the crease to start. Yeah, so since I haven't been, you know, receiving a ton of PR, which is, you know, fine. Again, I keep repeating myself. I'm not in it for the PR, but I needed to come up with different kind of content ideas if I'm going to be creating videos, but I'm receiving less products for reviews. So I've been watching videos from like way back, like Juicy Star 07, All That Glitters 21, which are Ellen Blair Fowler. Been having fun with it, I guess. I might go in with a little bit of this neon orange called Neon Kiss. This one's actually not technically eye safe because of the pigments, but I don't really listen to that. I'm just gonna place that just above the brown to kind of make it a little bit brighter. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to, and I've been just working a lot. It's like prime wedding and prom season, so. However, July is starting to look very not busy for me client-wise, and I don't know why. I didn't even tell you what I'm doing. I'm using my Urban Decay The Fix powder and just setting my brow bone. If you watch my videos a lot, you probably figured that's what I was doing, but yeah, so July looks pretty open right now, so I'm hoping that I can get more videos up in the month of July. That would be fun, wouldn't it? And then I'm just going to use this brush to kind of buff out any harsh lines. I kind of like the whole blue and orange thing. Like, it's interesting because they're completely contrasting colors on the color wheel. If you do mix them together too much, they will likely turn to a muddy brown because they're on opposite ends of the color wheel. So I feel like it kind of is like pushing me to be a little more creative so that I don't just mix them and make a brown, you know? Okay, so I think I'm done with that, and then I might dip into, I don't know how much deeper this shade is, but we'll try it. I'm gonna go into this shade here called Palms Away, and is that not the cutest thing ever? It looks like pretty similar. I haven't swatched them though, so I don't know how much darker this is actually gonna appear, but let's try it. A little bit darker. Yeah, I think I was going for something a little bit darker. It's okay, I can just add some more. I'm gonna go into this shade here called Chino. This one here, the deepest brown. And I'm just gonna apply that kind of over top of the Palms Away shade, because this is kind of more of the vibe I was going for. Really busy out on our road today, but I am filming on Sunday, and I don't usually film on Sundays, so, and it's Father's Day, so a lot of people are probably going places. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that crease work so far. Next, what I'm gonna do is grab more of my faux filter and just cut the crease. I feel like I haven't done a cut crease in a long time, and I'm just feeling it today. I'm feeling going all out, because I haven't done something like that in a while. So I'm just using that concealer and just cutting the crease. Then I'm gonna go into this really pretty shade here called Hot Tub. I also might go in a little bit with this light gold. It's called Prick Me, and I might go in with that a little bit on the inner corner. But first I am gonna start with the shade Hot Tub. This is pretty. It's not something we haven't seen from Colourpop before though. They like to do like a pop of orange, I find. Okay, so now the shade Hot Tub is laid down, I'm just gonna go in a bit with the shade Prick Me and just kind of add a little bit of lightness to the inner corner. Just like that, it just adds a little bit of dimension, I feel. Next up, what I'm gonna do is take these little pointy Q-tips. You could probably use a regular Q-tip as well, it just might be a little less precise. And I'm taking a little bit of my micellar water. This is the one by Marcel, it's my favorite one, because Bioderma is not cruelty free. And I'm just going to take the tip of the Q-tip and just remove the product. This part doesn't really have to be precise because I'm gonna apply concealer after it, and that's when I'll really make the line sharp. I'm personally doing it pretty thick. Of course, you don't have to. You can just do whatever thickness you're comfortable with. And I'm just kind of swooping it out so that I can do a little bit of a wing moment. Okay, so now that that's kind of carved out a little bit, I'm going to go in with my Huda Beauty Faux Filter again. And I'm just gonna take this little angle brush. This one's by Colourpop. It's an E30. I think this came with the Stone Cold Fox brush set. I'm just gonna pick up some of that concealer and just apply that where I removed the eyeshadow with that makeup remover. I would recommend using more of a water-based makeup remover for that step, just because I feel like oil will kind of slide around and potentially move around things up here that you don't want to be moved. Just kind of like that. Okay, and I'm gonna take another angled brush. This one's by Sigma with Jordan Liberty, and I'm gonna take the shade Intense, like physical tense. It's kind of punny. I like it. And I'm just going to set the concealer using this shade. Okay, so just like that, but as you can see, the wing is not very precise, so I'm just taking some of micellar water on a cotton round, and I'm just going to sharpen up this line so it looks like a nice sharp wing. This is so fun. I love it. Okay, I'm just gonna pop off camera and do the same thing on my other eye, and then I will come back and we can do the lower lash line. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my concealer, foundation, blush, bronzer, all that. I used the shade My Sun and Stars for blush, and it is like way too shimmery for me. I feel like my pores just look massive. But anyways, I'm going to go back into my palette. I think I'm just going to mix these two shades and kind of do a bit of a smudgy lower lash line that's not too dark. Actually, I lied. Changed my mind very quickly there. I'm going to take just a little bit of that dark shade that I used called Chino, and I'm just going to kind of define right where my lashes are. Okay, and then I'm gonna take a mixture of the shade Neon Kisses and Sizzlin', and I'm just going to blend that out. My lash glue is still drying, so if you see lash glue everywhere, mind your business. Okay, and for my waterline, I actually have 4 options from this collection. There's a nude, kind of like a taupe, a blue, and an orange, and I don't know. I feel like this shade is too blue and doesn't really match the teal. Like if I could match it perfectly, then I feel like I would go for this. But since they are slightly different, I think that's gonna drive me crazy. So I think I don't know, it's between these two. I think I'm gonna go nude actually. I feel like this orange, it might make me look like I have pink eye. So I think I'm gonna play it safe with a nude today. This is the shade Honeydude. This is a permanent. I think it is still available. If not, it's a re-promote. Colourpop has had this shade before. Then I'm just gonna apply some CoverGirl Lash Blast. This is waterproof. Oh well, I feel like this look is very pretty. The lashes are a little much, but then there are 3 highlighters launched with the collection, and I'm gonna go in with the lightest one. I believe they're Supershock highlighters. Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think I'm the biggest fan of Supershock highlighters, but I will use them for this video. Oh, before I continue, I want to go in with the lightest shade, which is kind of Supershock in feel. The shade Prick Me, and I'm just gonna apply this to my inner corner. I don't know, I just feel like Supershock formulas, like no matter what I do, they always like break up what's underneath. Like even this highlighter right now, it's like breaking up the concealer underneath, and I don't know how to make it not do that. Anywho, I'm gonna go in with this lightest shade. Honestly, is it the same as the shade Prick Me? They look very similar. Hold on, let me swatch. Dude, they're like the same. That is hilarious. Okay, so up here is the shade Prick Me, and then this is the Supershock highlighter. I don't even know what the shade's called. Hold on. Flip Flop. Cute. Cute name. The Supershock highlighter is a little bit more champagne. This is ever so slightly more golden and a bit deeper. I don't know, they seem pretty similar to me though. If you're looking at both the palette and that highlighter, I don't know, maybe just get the palette. So I'm just grabbing that on my finger. Maybe I have to be more precise with it so that it doesn't like have to be blended. Maybe it wouldn't eat at my foundation, I don't know. Even there, it's already starting to do it. Oh. They just keep sending them to me too, and I feel like I'm not gonna use these. This is a pretty decent color for me though. I feel like it's not too dark. Just don't really want to blend it out because I don't want to mess up my foundation. Okay, well I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Also maybe take some just down the nose ever so slightly. It ate away at my nose foundation. That is so annoying. Why? Does anyone else have this problem? I'm so annoyed. Like I feel like I'm being so gentle. And it's just not working. Okay, and lastly we have 4 lippies. These are a glowing lip. I don't know if they're new to this collection, but they're definitely a newer formula. I've never tried them. So, oh, 2 nudes. Okay, which one should I go for? This is the shade Adults Only. It doesn't smell great. It smells like the lippy sticks. It kind of has that. Can I help you? It kind of has that, Fred, it kind of has that lippy sticks scent where it kind of smells like vanilla but also kind of like plastic. It's okay. I love sheer glowy lipsticks. I'm excited. I like that it's in like a lip balm form as opposed to like the lip tints that are kind of in a pencil. Actually, I don't know if I like that formula. Could be that my lips are just dry, but still I would hope that this was like a hydrating formula, but I feel like it kind of emphasizes the dryness on my lips. I don't know if you can see what I'm talking about specifically on my lower lip. Can you see that? I don't know how I feel. I think first impression isn't great, but I'm definitely open to wearing them more to determine like if I actually like them or not. Okay, and this is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really pretty. I like the pop of blue. As for first impressions, I think the In the Springs palette is really nice. If you're into these sort of colors, if you're looking for something summery, I think that this is really pretty. Again, I normally say this with Colourpop palettes, but if you think you'd get a lot of use out of these shades, there's not usually any quality issues with Colourpop in their eyeshadow department anyway. So yeah, if you like the color story, I would definitely recommend this. The cream gel liners are also always good, especially the pencils. The cream gel colors, like the ones in the pots, I'm not as big a fan of, but these are just right up my alley. I love the pencil liners. The Supershock highlighters are not my favorite, but this is just personal preference. If you've tried the formula and you do really like it, you know, it's a Supershock highlighter. They've been around for years. I just realized that I don't personally love them. It applied nicely on this side. It didn't really mess up my foundation, but this side, it definitely broke things up a little bit. And I'm not happy about it. And I feel like I did the same techniques on both sides, so I really don't know like what happened on this side versus this side that made this side look so much better. As for the glowing lips, I think they're okay. That's just a first impression. I would assume that these don't wear very well. Typically things that are high shine don't wear as long, which is fine with me. I would rather reapply something and stay comfortable. I find super matte lipsticks really uncomfortable. And since this is Colourpop, it is a more affordable brand. So I feel like going through the product faster than a matte lip isn't really like a huge deal to me anyway. It just kind of looks like it clung to any texture I had on my lips, and that's never a good look, you know? So I'm gonna have to test those more for sure before I come up with a concrete opinion on them. But first impressions, I don't mind it, but I don't love it, you know? And I think that is it from me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. I just really appreciate you being here. It helps out my channel so very much by you watching, so thank you. Please leave any video requests you may have in the comments down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!